Wah. Welcome back. Suited and booted. We are back in the studio. The man behind the cameras is back from his little rendezvous in Asia. That sounded weird. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patience. And first of all, thank you for all the love on the Football Tennis Championship videos. Special thank you to South Springvale for being the inaugural guests on that. We appreciate it. Mazanod, time is ticking. We're waiting for the response.
We got to cut them off at some point.
Oh, I gave him a week.
1 week. Okay.
Yeah. So you've literally got till... When did I posted that on Thursday or something? So you've got till like Thursday this week.
And honestly, if you don't do it, this says a lot about you.
It says a lot about the club, the players, the mentality.
Yeah. Do we really want it? Do you really?
No, they don't. They don't. So if your club wants to be involved, guys, there's been a few clubs that are hitting me up like, get us in, we're good. No, it's got to be minimum, absolute minimum, a top state 2 side, everything else above. So that's what we're going for. State 1, NPL 3, 2, 1. We've already got a few people reaching out. Those spots will be filled. If you want your club involved, get involved. We are back from our break. How are we feeling, gentlemen? We all good?
Ready to rumble.
Ready to rumble.
I've missed it.
Gav's walking again.
Back in the studio. Feels good.
Back in the studio. Feels good. Let's first of all say congratulations to Melbourne victory.
That's what I've got on my navy blue suit today as well.
Incredible. I know, we or I critique the league a little bit, but yesterday was a fine showing of what the A-League can be. Would have liked the stadium to be a bit more packed, but atmosphere was still good. Two sides, hammer and tongs, going at it. I got to say, City, what were you doing? 10 men most of the game. Victory were on your ass. Right? No pause even. Like, they were just going. They took off arguably their 2 best players, Arzani and Fornaroli.
Oh.
And
that was kind of strange, but the stranger one was the City one. The City changes for me.
I've taken off McLaren.
And Tall Guy?
Well, McLaren's gone. And Tall Guy, I don't know where. He's probably gone as well. I guarantee you...
What?
I guarantee you that I've got a feeling that both of those players will not... Well, Jamie. Most people know Jamie's off.
Well, they do now. Wait, is that confirmed?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but I've been seeing rumours.
Right.
And, yeah, Tolgay, he's probably looking at the season thinking, should I just cut my losses? I don't know. Maybe he stays. I don't know. But City... again, they played well, but I just think Victory wanted it more. Like, they were going...
Yeah.
It was relentless at times. The second Broxham stepped up to take the penalty, I knew he was going to miss it.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Why?
Because...
You're so negative.
Broxham's a legend, but I just thought, here we go. Like,
yeah.
First of all, he's never been known really as a guy that slots goals.
Penalty taker, yeah.
Penalty taker. And I could, you could just see it on their face when they're walking up. I'm like, this is going to be, but his blushes were spared.
Well, from the angle that I was on, I was like, they got to get his family off the screen. He's lining up the penalty, and right there is all his family. I don't think that's a good, Even on the TV. On the TV, that's what I mean.
Come on, Daddy. Don't miss, Dad.
I don't know if that's what you want when you're about to take a penalty.
But Paul Izzo, he's out of here for the good reasons. He's too good.
Yeah,
Man of the match yesterday.
Yeah. But he's consistent, man. He's done that all year. He's
top. Good. He's a top keeper.
Yeah.
Keeps his head in the shootout.
What a penalty that was as well by him.
Yeah, keepers never miss pens. I swear to God.
Obviously they do sometimes, but...
Well, every time I've seen a keeper take a pen, I swear to God it's gone in.
That's probably true, actually. I don't know if I've ever seen a keeper miss.
Manuel Neuer
I know it would happen, but...
Yeah, it's going to happen. But, keepers, I feel like, because they know what the keeper's thinking, maybe they have a little bit of an upper hand.
Yeah, they've been in that position more often.
That's what I'm saying.
I also think it's a psychological thing of, especially in that situation, he's already saved 2 at that time.
Yep.
It's like he's already scored a hat-trick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep. He was Clark yesterday. And the way he kept his head, he didn't celebrate too hard when he saved one. He just kept his head, did his job. He was big. He's not the tallest keeper, but he made that goal shrink the way he played yesterday. Who else did a good job out there?
The violinist.
The violinist did a great job.
Man.
How was the atmosphere? You were there. How was it?
It was awesome. It was
good?
really good. Really good. I can't believe it wasn't full. That pissed me off.
Same.
Beyond belief. But especially because everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be sold out. Sunday, 5 p.m. What else are you doing?
Yeah. Greek Easter.
Well, we had Greek Easter.
We had Greek Easter.
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
I was on a business trip, if you think about it.
Shout out to all the Greeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about who you were talking to?
Yeah.
Suvos.
Yeah. Yesterday, it was really interesting watching the A-League with an A-League player. A good one at that as well. It was just interesting seeing their insights about, like, look at this, look at that.
What did we have? A-League, MPL,
A-League,
State,
MPL,
Continent.
State. Well, we had A-League, MPL, and MPL 2.
We had a mixture.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Really happy for victory.
Who was the A-League player?
Oh, Daniel Pena. Yeah, Daniel Pena. People see him. He's on Gav's story.
On your story, yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting getting his insight into everything, and especially because he knows a lot of the players, and yeah, it was interesting. It was good. But yeah, well done, A-League. Great game. Would have liked to see it in the final. That would have been class. That was the final. That would have been top.
Yeah.
Top. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say on the game. It was just a really entertaining game. Good promotion for the league. Paul Izzo, you're a star. That's really all I have to say.
And potentially Brox will have another opportunity to steal a game.
He will. He might.
He'll come back.
He might. Any other thoughts on it? I think that's it really for me.
Not much else. I guess more violinist type stuff for the events, I reckon.
Well, the first one...
UFC style event management for games. Not just the game.
I completely disagree.
Really?
Yep.
You don't want the violinist to be there?
I'll have the violinist, and that's about it. I don't want halftime shows. I don't want pre-time shows. I don't want any of that because it's Americanization of the sport, and I don't like that. And while I think the violinist is sick...
What about the Mexican wave?
Scrap the Mexican wave. It's crap. It's for fucking cricket. Scrap that shit. Don't even do it in Mexico.
What about the kids playing at halftime?
I don't mind that. That's all right. It's funny. It's good for them.
It's good for them.
You ever
I
seen
love
Ball
it.
Boys?
I love it like an event.
Look,
I love an
Don't you like if they
event.
got the ball boys? Like they play at halftime and then they got the ball boys. And
Yeah, I
what
said
about-
I said
what
I like
about
it.
if there's like a penalty shootout?
Yeah, I said I
Challenge.
like it. Yeah. Like it's that's
What about
cool.
like when they call like a person from the crowd and then take a penalty?
I don't mind that. That's not America. That's well, they do it in America, but the Americanization of the game is
What about the kiss cam?
no, scrap
No,
that.
no,
No
get
dance
that off.
cam, no kiss cam.
What about they get at the before the grand final,
yeah?
AFL style, they get all the strength conditioning coaches and they do a 100-meter sprint at Amy Park.
Like in AFL?
It would be cool, but it's just not football for me. Do you know what
Fair
I mean?
enough, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, but I love it.
That's fair. That's fair, bro. That's
They
fair.
should do more like in Argentina, where they just do like what's the one where in Argentina, for example, when I was there, Boca River, right? When there was
go on,
only
sorry, bro.
when there was only River fans at the stadium, some like Boca fan would be outside of the stadium and fly over like a ghost with a drone connected to it into the stadium. Like there needs to be more thoughtful fans like that.
No, and that's sort of I'm talking more about corporate plan things from the league or the clubs,
I know.
which I don't like. I think the tension of the game, the tifos, the choreography, the fans, that should be the pre-match spectacle that gets you hyped up, not DJ. I was going to say Avicii, but RIP. David Guetta or something like. I don't care.
But I think I like energy in the stadium.
Yeah, of course.
What
Right?
if we went
And-
and did a football tennis there in the middle of the pitch at halftime?
Oh, we could do that. We could do that.
No one would let us do that.
Just with the subs, the warm up. We'll take the warm up.
There's a certain coach that doesn't allow anything.
Doesn't allow the players.
Doesn't allow the players to watch.
Yeah, the
Netflix.
sports scientist. Remember we were talking about that?
Sports scientists 2v2 football tennis.
No, remember that Wayne Rooney was like, not enough. People were taking away too much of how much you can do after training.
Oh, mate.
With the
Load.
shooting, yes.
Load. Managing load.
We'll get to
managing
load. I just want to get back to
Sorry,
this.
we're getting
you're
off.
right. I want to get back to this topic. So what would you like before an A-League grand final or a big game?
I think the violinist has won her place in that. If it's victory final, she's in.
That's cool because it's unique and
Yeah.
it's and you know it went
And she
viral the
hypes
first time.
everyone up.
Yeah, it's cool. That I don't mind. But when it comes to like, if you watch, this is why I'll never watch a Super Bowl. I don't care how I don't care. I barely watch NBA as well because it's just too ad heavy. People care more about the performances at halftime than the actual game. It's just it just personifies America, and I hate America.
But do you not, for example, I'm talking more UFC style where he's getting celebrities into the crowd and stuff. Like that.
I think it's more. I'll tell you why. I think UFC, you don't need to know what's going on. You can just go watch two motherfuckers go fight. Maybe that's the difference.
That's true.
Because I don't think you're gonna be at a football game unless you somewhat are interested.
Yeah.
But I feel like UFC or boxing, it's like I need to be seen courtside. Or even NBA, like I need to be seen courtside, ringside. No celebrities go to the football being like, I need to be seen at this game.
That's true.
Well, unless you're into Miami, you're going to go see Messi.
Well, exactly. But then again, America.
Yeah.
Good point, Gav. But NBA, it's like courtside and NFL and all of this. Like even WWE does it. Like,
But I just think from the side of, if you're Boca River,
yeah.
you don't need to rely on any of that stuff
Nothing.
to drive
It's the hatred.
fan engagement and energy in the stadium.
That's what it should
But
be.
in Australia, in the A-League, maybe if it was an NPL game, you don't need to do that stuff.
No.
Because the energy is going to be there, the passion's going to be there, it's all going to be there. But some, like we've talked about in the past, there's maybe that lack of a buy-in into the A-League
But has
of passion.
Has it been
That's-
proven before though? Like those derbies, we didn't have anything, and I was shitting myself beforehand.
As in like
when I was
last few
going,
years.
yeah, I was like an active supporter.
Oh, right.
There was no lead up, and I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm like, just the tension was enough for me
Yeah.
to be like, oh my God. Like, okay, perfect example. I went to a Wembley playoff. Nottingham versus Huddersfield, winner goes to the Premier League. Packed. Took me 3 hours to get home. Right? There were some stages where outside I couldn't move. There was that many people. Yeah, okay, they had a DJ or whatever, but there wasn't too much. And I don't support... Did you fart?
No.
Okay. I don't support...
Oh, by the way, bro, sorry to cut you off.
Go for it. I love
Someone at the victory game where I was sitting kept pumping butt, man.
Fahid.
I don't think it was Fahid because I
Don't tell me
asked him. Whoever you were,
Fuck off.
I noticed it. We all noticed it. You should feel ashamed of yourself. It's absolutely disgusting.
That's like
it was
fighting.
like maybe 10 times. Just kept wafting into my mouth during like celebration times.
You didn't even need to go
I'm
get
like,
food.
oh,
That's like farting in the club, like it's
yeah,
free
bro.
game.
Go back into the toilet, man.
That's like...
I know you're nervous about the result.
Bro, have you ever farted in a nightclub and just been like, no one's gonna
No,
notice
bro.
me?
I hate when people do that.
I don't do it.
I think it's so poor to do that.
Do it and they go, brother, ugh.
Yeah, far out, bro.
Yeah, hey, I know they're watching this.
And they
Close your asshole. Put some masking tape over it or
Go to
something.
the toilet, man, like an
Hey,
adult.
Were they those ones that, like, before a shit, so they stink?
Bro, it was so bad. And
You know,
my brother,
SPDs.
at one point, my brother, it was like the third one in. Slim just goes, man, have you been farting?
Brother, did
I'm
you
like,
shit
I'm
yourself?
smelling it too. I thought it was you.
On a plane is bad. So.
Oh, man.
What happened?
Me yesterday, the guy behind me.
On the plane.
You didn't want to turn around and say, close that ass.
It's the Thailand Valley.
Yeah,
Man.
bad. All right, let's stop talking about
Yeah,
ass.
sorry.
Funny point though, Rush.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I think I went to Wembley and it wasn't too overdone. It was perfect. And the elation and the emotion and the passion came, and I don't even care who was going to go up. I don't support Huddersfield or Nottingham. But I was like, wow, look at what it means.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean because football is a street person's game.
Yeah.
And you just want to keep it street, right?
Yeah.
I get you.
I understand. There's sponsors involved. There's TV deal. I understand. It's a money. It's a business at the end of the day. I understand that.
But we can agree on one thing. The violinist stays.
Yeah.
Every week.
I like the violinist.
Good.
I don't know about every week. I think for big games. Like the Big Blue,
Okay.
elimination finals, derbies.
I'll meet you
She
halfway
was
in
ripping
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out her. Come on the pod and just don't speak. Just play a violin the whole time.
As our intro
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
before we come in.
She's going to do a live show for us. That was a good little topic. Yeah, I think Americanization of the game is something that I don't want. We already follow the AFL in terms of like final series and what Aussies are used to. In terms of like, halftime performances. Because I think the A-League does have a halftime performance for the grand final. I'm pretty sure they do, bro. And no one wants to see Meatloaf again like at the AFL. That was...
Do they have a halftime performance?
I think they do, bro. I think they do.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's NRL. But anyway, let's talk about something that was brought up from a few friends that went overseas recently. And I know he's big in the football world. Let's talk about snus in football.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done it, but I've heard accounts and I know people that do it. I would never do it. I don't touch anything that alters my mental state or physical state, except fast food. Yeah, my body's a temple. But I heard a Gary Lineker story about how he's only ever taken it once, and for 4 hours he was lying on the floor, vomiting, hallucinating, hot sweats, etc. And I said, okay, I am never touching that. Have you done snus, Rash?
Yes, I've done it twice. I'm wondering whether what he had was snus, first of all. Because I don't know if that's...
Probably speed.
Well, yeah. But no, I have done it twice. Absolutely terrible. I've done it I did it one time. I had drank. So apparently it makes you feel more drunk if you're drinking. I had 2 beers. I snoozed up. And my face started going red apparently, and my mate goes to me, take it out, to get it out. So I take it out. So I probably had it in for like a minute, and then I instantly felt like I had drank 30 beers, and I was like feeling sick and woozy and wobbly. Terrible first experience. I go back for a second experience because I say I'll try everything twice, because I'm getting a lot of reports from other footballers saying how good it is and it's the best thing ever and it helps me relax and this and that. Yeah. Pre-game, I do all this. And I was with a guy when I was in Korea, and we were on a pre-season trip and we were actually having a break for the afternoon. And so he gave me one to try. Again, probably had it in for 2 minutes. And it just felt like I just started feeling sick and like my heart started racing and I felt lightheaded and like my arms weren't working properly. I just felt terrible. Both times I felt terrible. But no hallucinations. That's
Korean
full
speed.
on.
Maybe it wasn't hallucinations.
But terrible.
But so
young players they stay away from absolute garbage. It's full of chemicals and
Before I get Gav's take, I just want to explain to people what snus is if you don't know. I believe it started in Sweden or somewhere in those Scandinavian countries, and I believe that it is. I've never actually seen it, but from what I've been told, it's a little tobacco pouch that you slide in the upper lip underneath and just let it sit there.
So it's absorbed into your bloodstream through your
gums. Till it's absorbed through your gums into your bloodstream. Okay. How long do people keep it in for?
Some people just sit like the addicted boys. They sit there all day, just new one. Yeah, and they'll sit there all day.
I know people that just do it while they're chilling at home watching a movie or whatever. I was like, what? So have you done it?
I've done it, same, twice.
And same experience?
First time I was in England and I got the biggest head rush and headache.
Head rush is a good word.
Yeah.
That's a good way to
And
describe
it just
it.
hit me.
Head rush.
Hit me real bad. And then one time I was out, and same thing. I was just out at a bar and I was like, oh, got off
At a
the
bar?
snooze. I'll have one. Had it and I actually thought I was going to faint. I had to take it out.
I wonder
'Cause
why
I
it's
just
legal.
went, my whole body just went so loose. So I'm trying to work out why the boys do it pre-game. Like, I can't understand how you would want to go into the game like that.
No idea.
Having that feeling.
But you know
then
what
does
I...
your body accustomed to it? I don't know.
Well, this is what I've heard is, oh, yeah, that's at the start, but you got to get used to it and then it becomes good. And I'm like, why would you have a bad experience with something that you know is bad for you and put in effort to become addicted to it? It's ridiculous to me.
Well, we've got an expert. We've got an expert that we can give a call to.
Well, I was just going to ask you if there was someone we could call. Before that, I just want to say I was with a dental expert yesterday. Shout out Dimmy. And he was saying that studies have been done and that I believe that there's some study that's going on regarding that it could lead to mouth cancer
I've heard that.
or something of that sort.
I've
So
heard that.
that's another thing that you just got to get used to, I guess.
And I tell you what, put it into your gums and you'll feel, you'll feel that, oh yeah, that probably could end up with mouth cancer.
Yeah, I think, yeah, straight up.
You can just feel it. Yeah.
Do you, so Gav, call someone up
Let's call.
that you know does it and hold
Do
it.
you want to answer the phone?
No. Just tell them they're on air so they don't say anything incriminating and just hold the mic really close so they can hear the mic.
Who is he,
pick up.
first of all?
Hi, Blakey.
Hey brother, how are you?
Good. We're live on the podcast right now.
Beautiful.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name's Blake Carpenter. I love snus and I play for Avondale Football Club.
Okay, so Blakey and I played together last year, and I thought the best person I could ask about a snus is you. So, Jerome, do you have any questions for Blake? Firstly, to give us a good idea of what we're talking about.
G'day, Blake.
Hey man, how are you?
Good, bro. Now, we're just talking about it because Gavin and Rashid have had horrible experiences with it. And I've personally never done it. But I want to speak to someone that is an advocate of it and loves it. Why do you do it, and what does it make you feel?
So I started doing it probably around 3 years ago when I moved to Avondale with a teammate called Stefan Valentini.
Yep.
And he got me onto it, and the first I hadn't smoked or anything like that, no vape and nothing. And he just always is putting it in his mouth before training, after food, like just every single minute of the day, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, give us a crack. I want to try it. And I tried it, and it just knocked me for six. Like, absolutely knocked me for six. Like, it feels, the first time's always the worst, but then after that, it just feels like you're in a womb and like you're being reborn. Like you're just in a constant warm cuddle. It's one of the best feelings of all time, and you're chasing that first time every time.
So,
I haven't stopped since. Like I try and not do it every day, but when you see it, you just constantly want it.
why do you think it's legal?
Why do I think it's legal? It's a great question.
Because it sounds like I mean, I've never done heroin, so I don't know, but like it sounds like it gives that feeling of relaxing your whole body on an extreme level.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like at one point, the first thing I woke up 6 a.m. before work. I couldn't wait to get in the car and chuck a snus in.
Wait, have players ever trained or done any physical activity with it in?
Yeah, I used to train with it every training session. So before, it would be like we used to go out at 6:15, 6:13, be straight in. By the time I get out on the field, it would hit me, and I feel like I'm running on a cloud.
So that's a full routine, Blakey. That's
I had a full
6:13.
This is
and then when a wise man once said, so when you're digesting, there's nothing better than putting a sugar glider straight in your top of deck.
so he's saying, can you hear me, Blake?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So are you saying that it makes you or helps you perform better in football? For you, this is, by the way, for everyone, we are not promoting this. We are not promoting
if I've
this.
got a big game or I'm feeling a little bit anxious about a game, I will put one in and it will just calm me completely.
So that's the reason why most footballers do it, just to get that relaxation.
Relaxation before games, before training, and then eat. But the best part about it is if you've had a big meal and you put one in, you could eat instantly, like in the next 15 minutes, half an hour. It's like you haven't eaten anything. Like it literally helps you digest. So you could smack a whole pizza, chuck one in, and it feels like you haven't eaten.
So then why are you trying to do it less if it's so good?
Because when you rely on it, you can't, like, it's not like you start to get like shakes and stuff like that if you don't continually have it. Like you get withdrawals. It's nicotine withdrawals.
Yeah.
You get nicotine withdrawals.
Oh, so it's completely addictive.
Yeah, no. It's like it would be one of the most addictive things I've ever had in my life.
Can I ask you a serious question, Blake? Very serious.
Yeah.
If your child was a footballer, would you encourage him to do snus?
Fuck no.
I think we'll wrap it there. Blake, we're going to get back to it, but thank you so much for the insight, bro. Appreciate it.
No problems at all.
Thank you, Blakey.
Thanks, Blakey.
Enjoy, boys.
Ciao.
See ya.
Thank you.
Ciao.
That was class. Gav, you called the right guy.
I told you.
So, a warm womb.
What a description.
That was class. That was good.
A warm womb.
Fuck
and then
no.
I'm running on clouds. Is that what you want when you're playing football? You feel like you're running on clouds? That sounds like...
I feel like if I was that relaxed and that like zoned out, that... Oh, well, he didn't say zoned out, but if I was that calm...
Wonder if it's like having a joint.
Yeah, but imagine playing football while you're high. Again, I've never been high, so I don't know. But like, imagine playing football while you're high. Like, what? Oh, I missed. Like
Maybe.
reverse through ball. Like, are you gonna crunch someone if you're fucking high? No. You're gonna be like, oh, sorry, dude. So you nutmegged me. But it must
do something.
It must do something because pros do it.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, Prem players, obviously, all of it.
But in saying that, bro, you like...
Well, what did we
footballers
say
are-
today when we walked in?
Hold on.
I said it's a people want to follow the crowd.
Yes, but also footballers, athletes are known to be dopamine addicts.
Yep.
And they look for rushes and gamblers, sex addicts, drug addicts, alcoholics, all this stuff. Like, I'm fairly sure you can search this up, but there's a higher percent chance that you'll be addicted to things like that if you're a high-level athlete than if you're just general population.
Because?
I'm pretty sure
Because
you're used to high emotions, high like intensity.
Well, that's a good point because a lot of players say when they retire that they think they just want to go kick it. They think they just want to go on holiday and then they get 3-4 months into not playing or being around a club and they're like, I can't do this anymore. I get no adrenaline. I get no dopamine rushes. Then they try to get back into coaching or playing or even just punditry. They just want to be around the intensity because they're used to it. And it's almost like a massive come down after 20 years of adrenaline.
Yeah. And I think just the fact that you're attracted to sport means that probably you're not attracted to just living a normal life and
Well, even
feeling
for me
normal.
now, like that I can't play. The most I miss is like obviously yes playing, but just the change room. You know,
Yeah.
being around the boys and general conversations or people you'd talk to about certain things that would happen in the week, like just that communication with your change room is so key.
Rash, did you? I mean, I guess we say this every ep. We'll get into it when we do the Rash episode. But when you stopped playing, was there a time where you were like, I miss the adrenaline rush of before a big game, or were you just like, I'm done?
Oh, even now, but I was off the rails for a period.
Yeah.
Because I was, like I'm the type of person. I'm not the type of person that likes to live a normal life, and even now, I need intensity.
Yeah.
I need what's the word? I need volatility.
Volatility.
I need volatility.
What's volatile right now?
Well, like running a soccer academy, running a business essentially.
True.
I don't like saying running a business because it's a soccer academy. Yeah. It's slightly different, but it comes with all the same issues. Every day things are changing. Every day there's problems you have to fix, fires to put out.
Yep.
And I love that. I love learning. It's not just, I go to work, clock in at 9 o'clock, clock out at 5 p.m. and I'm done. I don't think about it anymore, and that's it.
That's so funny.
You know?
But we're all so different. Because I've never, and I don't think I will ever live the 9 to 5 life, but I hate volatility. So it's weird because like
That's random, yeah.
Like it's weird. I hate pressure. I don't perform well under pressure. I crumble. I get personal. If
you say that, bro, but you no, that's not true.
Thanks, man.
That's not true. Maybe, I don't know, in a football sense, I've never seen you play
football.
D-League champions, by the way, over there. But probably you played with some high emotions and high intense games in there. But also, I've seen you from a content creation point of view now, football, tennis, one take.
Yes.
One take, bro, one take. And that was pressure. People stand around, cameras on, one take.
Yes.
Call him one take J.
One take J, yes. But in saying that, I've done it a fair few times, so it's not like that bad for me. And because I knew you guys were there, Chris was there, knew a few of the boys.
But you didn't feel nervous?
Not at all. The last time I felt nervous doing content was when I did something with Melbourne City, and I was like, all right. And I said to myself in the car, just, you know what? If they like you, they like you. If they don't, fuck them. You're a Victory fan.
Yeah.
And it was good. And they were good because they're just normal humans at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, but I get nervous with the slightest. Someone could disagree with me on something and my anxiety goes through the roof. I'm being dead set. Right? Someone could... and it's the way they do it, though. If they say, nah, Jerome, man, I disagree, that's fine. But if someone says, nah, you're talking shit or whatever, instantly I'll go into defense mode. Oh, I'm talking shit, am I? Okay, let's talk about your ex. Like, I'm bad like that.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, no, probably. I don't know. Who knows? I don't want to say childhood trauma because I have none. I don't know. That's just how I am.
Like, let's say you have an opinion on something, right? And someone challenges it.
Yeah. That's okay. It depends who it is. It depends how they speak to me. I'll always be up for, a back and forth, respectfully. But there's just, I'm very easily triggered. I'm quite sensitive. So if someone says the slightest thing that annoys me, I'll be like, you're in my bad books. That's it. But people look at me and think, oh, indestructible. He's outspoken. I am. And I will give you a right old go if we're having a debate or whatever. But yeah, even just back to the whole nervousness thing or whatever, I think it's just about getting used to it. It's about getting used to it and being comfortable. And, bro, I'm so sorry. The most important part is trusting who you're with. Right? Touch wood, this doesn't fuck up, this episode. But I trust Noor that he's going to be on the ball. I trust you two that you're going to be on time, that you're going to be ready, responsive. That helps me. Because it's like, I've got a mad support system. I can just go crazy now. So,
because when you say I crumble under pressure, do you mean I get super nervous? Or do you mean you've had evidence in your past that when you become nervous, you can't perform?
I lose my head. I don't know if that's nervousness, but I lose my head. So I'll start telling myself, you know what, I don't even like this that much. You know what, and then I just won't perform as well as I should be because I'll just be reactionary and thinking like, bro, if I went 2-0 down in Metro 7, in my head I'd be like, I'm not even going to try anymore. Hence why I never made it as a player, because I'm just like, well, fuck it. Like, these guys are shit, whatever. Fucking, why would I try? And then we'd come back and I'd be like, oh, wait a minute. Something can happen. But my mentality is horrible. It's disgusting.
But is that? But you're saying that, is that not just a choice that you're making in every moment?
Yes.
To keep saying that you're saying it like, this is my personality, like I can't do anything about it. But do you not think that's just like, it's just a decision in that moment? The next time you're down in Metro 7 or when you do fives, could you not just go, I'm going to keep trying hard and make that decision in that moment?
You know what's funny? You make a good point, because usually I would have just said to you, and we would get off this topic, it's not about fucking me. Usually I would have just said that I have a bad negative personality, right? But I've done plenty of content things that I don't want to say failed, but haven't worked out maybe. And I'm still here doing pods. I'm still here.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a show of, you know what, Jerome, you're not that bad at the whole resilience thing. But a lot of my life, if I don't like something, I quit. That's just how it is. Anything I have to push too hard through, I think like, oh, no. But that all depends on, like I said, who's around me. If we have a clear goal, if everything's organised, structured. And that's what touch wood, that's what I feel with you guys. So I'm able to come in here and kill shit.
Yeah.
We're getting off this topic though, because it's a football pod.
Fuck them. They can listen for a bit about Jerome's life.
Yeah, listen to my life. I fucking
God's
ask
sake.
him about fucking North Korea. Ask him about North Argentina. Well, you can listen to me for a bit. Let's talk about now Rash brought up a really good point. And it's like a little bit of a trending topic at the moment. This is not a segue, by the way. I'm just changing the topic. Let's talk about hierarchy of football positions.
Oh, yes.
Now, why'd you bring this up?
I love this chat.
You just love this chat.
Yeah. Because I feel like there's underlying egotistical emotions going on in changing rooms and on the field and, you know, that I want to put on my board.
Now, precursor, I'm with 2 6s, DMs. DM and DM. Yeah, okay, maybe Gav played as a 10 when he was younger, but you're a DM now. You're a DMer. And
he's a DMer, bro.
Yeah, he's a
he is a
DMer.
DMer, man.
So am I.
He's a big DMer.
Me and Gav anchoring the mid.
Yeah, he's playing a lot this week.
And you've played
the last few
most
games.
Most of your professional career, you've been a DM because you tried to be a winger on Football Superstar and they told you to fuck off.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, exactly.
So, let's just... There's so many different variations of this we could do. We could do like who's the most important on the pitch, who's the most important off it. Just do football positions and what you think is key from 1 to 5.
To 5? Okay.
Well,
Current day,
we're
huh?
gonna do the whole 11.
No, okay. 5? No, I was going to say 3, but okay, current.
Let's do 5.
Okay, 5,
Yeah.
and it's current day because the other point is I think it's
Why?
changed in the last few years.
Oh, should we do 3? Because then like you might have like 2 DMs, 2 strikers, 2 centre backs.
Just tell
What are
me
you
how many.
talking about?
How many?
Like should we do 3 players or 5?
Let's do 5.
We'll do 5. All right.
So 1 to 5, what I reckon best.
Don't show me, Gav.
So 1 is most important, obviously,
Don't
huh?
show me. Don't show me. I can still. I can
Stop
see.
looking at my card then.
No. I'm not looking at you.
Oh, man.
Don't laugh at my writing. I dropped out in year 10.
Better than me.
You didn't even go to high school.
Gav's got 1, 2, 3, and now he doesn't know what numbers after that. He's got
1, 2, 3, 8, 9. Actually, I'm changing that. Oh, okay. You know what?
Fuck.
I'll explain. I can't even spell. All right. I'm ready. And I disagree with my list already.
Oh man, mine's hard. The number
so
five,
hard too.
the number 5 spot is hard.
I've got 5
The
positions.
number 5 spot is difficult, but I'll go. Okay,
Now, before we do ours, before we do ours, so take your time. Gav, I can see your thing so clear.
Right.
cuz.
Stop looking, bro.
It'd be
Stop
like
looking
you're throwing
over.
it in my face. Nor's given his.
oh yes, this is gonna be.
Nor's
This
given
is-
his. No pause.
This is gonna be interesting.
I'll go with Nor's first, and then we'll do
Okay.
ours. Nor's gone number 1, centre back. Number 2, centre mid. Number 3, CDM. Number 4, centre forward. Number 5, right wing. Interesting.
Hold on. Number 1 centre back
Yeah.
as the most,
Interesting.
the highest player on the hierarchy.
Hey, man. That's not...
Like most important.
Nor grew up in fucking some different
Oh,
places.
it's going to be interesting to hear how you guys are categorizing this as well. Like why, whether you mean most important as into the outcome of the game or the most popular, who people like the most,
There's so much criteria.
who wants to be that position the most. But okay,
There's so much criteria.
Just
All right.
explain what comes to your head in the moment.
All right, Rash, kick us off.
okay. So I've
the
got
cameras.
I've got the fullback at number 5. Sorry, I'll just do it normal. I've got the fullback at number 5, winger at number 4, striker at number 3, DM at number 2, and attacking mid number 10 at number 1. Do you want it explained?
Yeah.
No, or you go to yours and then we'll explain them all.
All right. We'll
Okay,
do
go.
mine. All right. I don't know why I did them in different levels. Number 1, striker. Number 2, centre back. Number 3, CM. I will say these two are like a joint second for me. I couldn't even. It's a bee's dick. I taught Gavin what
Close
that
as
meant
a
yesterday.
bee's dick.
Number 4, keeper. And number 5, the 10. That's what I've got. And that could all interchange, but that's what came in my head.
Can
right
I
now.
just ask? Sorry, I've just noticed something, and this is my ADHD flaring up. But what's with the? Why is the striker written in a certain way, and then you've got the keeper?
I just said that because I'm not all there.
Oh, sorry. Did you say that?
Yeah.
There was too much pressure and he crumbled.
I hadn't even listened to the rest of his list because I was paying attention
Look at
to
the
the way it was differently written.
Like, it's like this. Striker. Keeper! Gav? Of course.
What does that say at the bottom, bro?
Winger.
Is that your signature?
Winger has 5. Goalkeeper has 4. Centre back. Striker. Defensive midfielder.
Okay. No, I've just got one. You're not on the show, but I've got one question for you. Why did you specifically put right wing over left wing?
That was funny. I thought that was funny.
I don't know why I feel like every team these days, the player that switches the game is the right wing. I don't know why, in terms of attacking.
I reckon I know why. Good point. I reckon I know why. Because left footers are magical, like Cole Palmer and shit. Yeah.
There's a few Saka.
Saka.
There's a few actually.
Good point, Nor.
Good point.
Well done, Nor. Nor knows ball.
He's got interesting. He notices. You notice interesting things, bro.
Nor's
Very,
smart,
very
bro.
interesting things.
Kick us off.
Okay.
And let's not, go in circles.
Okay. I'll try to be very quick with mine. All right. So this has changed in the last few years. I would have done it differently 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The fullback, the whole thing where I think it was Gary Neville. You're either a failed winger or you're a failed centre back or whatever.
Yep.
At one point, no one wanted to be a fullback, but now since this inverting fullback, this sort of wing back thing, fullback's popular. I think people like it. Winger because they're flashy, everyone likes them. They do tricks, they wear the earrings, they got the tattoos, they're cool people. They don't have to run back too much, all that stuff. Striker, the number 9, obviously the person that scores the goal, scores the goals is top, right? Very important. DM, again, this is a new thing, I think, since Sergio Busquets, Pirlo, Pogba, there's crews, like there's been players over the last few years that revolutionised that position. It used to just be the hard man put in tackles. It started to be this classy player that's enjoyable to watch. And from a grassroots level, I'm telling you, most players want to be that player now.
Okay.
That's the position. If you say, oh, what position do you play? Everyone says DM. Mm-hmm. When it used to be striker or whatever. And then at the top, I'll say number 10 because just I think amongst actual footballers, if you're in a room of footballers, everyone knows that number 10, the attacking midfielder, is the most gifted player. It's always like they're the player. They're the one everyone wishes they were as good technically as them. Everyone wants that position, so it's most important. That's me.
Cool. I've gone, like I said, this list can change, and now I feel like changing my answers because Rash is smart. So read my list back to front. No. I put Cam at 5, even though I told you I don't watch football for this shit. I watch it for limbs. I put Cam at 5 because, yes, they are probably the best player in the team, but also it's a position where you can get away with shit. And I feel like most leaders aren't in that role for me. That's my point why I put Cam 5. Keeper at 4 is because in the modern game, the keeper is another outfield player and they see the whole pitch. And if you don't have a good keeper who's good with their feet and a good shot stopper, you're doomed.
He looks like a kid giving a presentation in a classroom, mate.
You're doomed. You're doomed. And the best keepers in the world are all good with their feet and they see everything and they instruct from the back and
sorry, hold on.
Jazz.
Sorry to jump in. Are you putting them based off importance to win games? Is that what you're putting it on?
Mostly.
So my list is not that.
Yeah, see, and that's why, we could have done the whole criteria or whatever. Look, it adds a little bit of everything, but the keeper as well, like, I just feel like is underrated a lot of the time, and they're becoming more and more important on the field of play. They're becoming sweepers. 3 and 2, again, they could interchange because I feel like that's where most captains are playing. But CM or let's just say /DM because players these days, they morph into positions and whatever the fuck.
Yep.
You become an 8.5, I've heard, and, 6 and a 5 or whatever the hell. I got CM there because, again, engine room, everything goes through them. The best teams in the world will have a player in there, whether it's a DM or an 8, that will literally control the tempo of the game. And like you said, it's turning into a classy position now. But I do love me a good player that can just break up play and keep it ticking. Caicedo, I see you, my boy. You're coming into your own. You're doing the job well. That's why I got CM there. Second centre-back, I grew up on the best centre-back in Premier League history, John Terry. Right? His leadership, and especially now with these centre-backs, they're so quick. They're so good on the ball, like long balls and like, look how quick Mickey van der Ven is. He's crazily quick. His hamstrings can't even deal with it. But centre-backs, man, look at Verge, what he's been doing the last few years. Absolutely imperative for me. And most of the time, your best leader on your team is going to be a centre-back, a.k.a. Thiago Silva. Without him, we'd be doomed.
Can I just ask you something, though? Do not every centre-back in the world wish they were a centre midfielder or holding midfielder?
No. I don't think so, no.
What is your experience with centre-backs? Would you not say if they had the option, if they could choose,
I feel like
and they could play
fullbacks wanna be
centre defensive midfield, would they not say, yeah, I'll take it, I'll go there instead?
I kind of feel like it's like the times I've played centre back as a midfielder dropping into centre back, it's such a more relaxed position. So
you're saying they don't want to do it?
Well, it's just easier, I felt, when I was there. There was less responsibility. You don't have to focus not say focus, but like you just have to tackle well and pass the ball sideways or through the guts, and then your job's really done,
Yeah, but what about my question?
Yeah, like...
No, seriously.
Like, yes and no. From my experiences, depending how you're feeling on the day.
No, Gav.
No.
He's asking
If they wanted to.
No, Gav, he's asking, do you think centre backs wish they were centre midfielders?
Yeah, like if they could rub
depending on
something's
the person.
stomach and that could give them one wish, and the wish could be to change positions.
Not really.
No, I don't reckon.
Would they change positions?
I think fullbacks.
You don't think so?
I think fullbacks. Now you see
Because
fullbacks are DMs.
It depends when you're like.
Okay.
For me, I used to be more of like a number 8, and now I look at it and be like, nah, I'll just kick it at DM. Like, it's more chill. And then now, if I could play centre back, big cruiser.
It's going all the way.
You know, you're just cruising in the back.
Okay, so striker.
Number 1, striker. Striker. You have a bad striker, you're having a bad season. That's just what it is, man. Unless someone can chip in 20 goals from midfield,
Yeah.
you're going to have a bad season. The strikers need to score goals. That's why all that stupid crap about Haaland, he's a League 2 player, whatever. Yeah, whatever. He's not technically great. He scores goals.
I was just about to ask you, what do you think about those strikers that can't do anything other than score?
Don't care.
Don't care?
I want my team to win. I don't care about necessarily playing beautiful football because Arsenal play beautiful football for years. And what do they have? Nothing. And we played well, we didn't play disgusting, but we played defensive, counter-attacking with Conte. Wasn't the most beautiful. Same with Mourinho. We won titles. I care about winning and titles rather than, look at the weight of pass. I don't care. Striker, super, super, super important. The most important player on the pitch. Should be the most confident man on the pitch. Either him or the 10, I would say.
I think that's a crazy list. I think that's a crazy thing to say, bro, that the
Thanks,
striker...
man. I've never played at a high level.
The striker is the most important player on the field because especially if you're saying, I don't mind as long as they score goals, those types of players rely so heavily on having, let's say, a number 10
Service.
that can provide them with that.
Yeah, you're right. But they've got to be able to put them away. Like, people just think, he's a tap-in merchant or whatever. No, that's a skill in itself to be able to get into those positions and whatever. But I just think after the season Chelsea's had, and Nico Jackson's done all right up top, but if we had a murderer up there, like a murderer, we would be flying.
Sorry.
And there's a reason. There's a reason Arsenal are looking for a striker because Jesus ain't cutting it. That's just what it is. I just think.
I've really got to go.
Okay, man. See you, bro.
All right. Do you need my list or not,
Go where?
Coach?
Just tell us why the DM is the most important.
Because I'm a DM.
Okay, thanks, man. That's it. That's why it's the most important because Gav's a DM.
It's a good answer, to be fair. Short and
Man,
sharp.
fuck you, Rash. Now I'm looking at my list like it's shit.
It is shit.
I'm going to go home and cry now. I just always felt like the striker was the most important player on the pitch. That's what. Well, no, what time are we at? 53. Okay, cool. There's my list, man. And like I said, they could all interchange, but I was probably just basing it off. Maybe I was. I don't know. I don't know what I was basing it off, really.
I think you're basing it off Chelsea's.
Yeah, but then
Everything that you're missing.
yeah, but now Palmer's like, you could say he's an attacking mid. He's more of a right winger.
Yeah, but see, you're not missing a good attacking mid. You're missing a good striker. You're missing a good centre back.
Sort of.
That's so funny.
Sort
bro.
of. Keeper too. I'm not happy with Petrovic.
I wonder how much Chelsea influences your decision making throughout a normal day.
A lot.
Without you even realising.
Yeah. Just on random shit. Like fruits.
Like, yeah.
I'll get the blue ice cream, thanks. Won't be seeing me with no red velvet.
Especially when they lose.
Oh, bro. No, we smoked West Ham 5-0 yesterday. We beat Tottenham 2-0 on Friday.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're moving. I don't know. All the football nerds are going to kill me for my takes in there, but that's just what I think it is, man. Striker, Drogba. Let's go.
Oh.
I wanted to talk about coaches. You've played under two of the, maybe even two of the best, or two of the top five. I could be talking out of my ass. Australian coaches. You've played definitely with one who's in the top two, I'd say.
Has to be, yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah,
Who
has
else
to
is
be,
there?
Yeah.
And then Muskie has definitely proven that he's a top manager,
Yeah.
right? Yet to do it in Europe. as much, but in Asia, he's conquered Asia.
Yeah.
You've said this on your TikTok, but I want to know what it's like. So, talk to us through this. Did you walk into Victory and Ange was there?
Yeah, he signed me.
So
He
Ange
signed me,
Postecoglou signed you.
Yeah.
From where?
Northcote.
From Northcote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was he sending scouts to come watch you? All of that?
To be honest, I don't know how it happened. I think maybe Darren Davies came. He was the youth coach at the time. And we were smashing it at Northcote. We were literally winning every week. We were undefeated at that point, and we were winning maybe like 4 or 5-0 every week.
So you were starting NPL games as a 20-year-old?
I was 20 at the time, yeah.
Smashing it every week.
But we had a young squad as well. Shout out Goran Lozanovsky for what a squad that he put together of like young players, like a good mix. I mean, we had a bit of experience, but mostly young players. And we were just smashing it every week. And then I think that probably brought a bit of attention to the club. And then obviously they would come to watch the club and see who were the, quote, good, better players. And I think that's how, I think also maybe Loza had some relationship with Muskie because maybe they played together or something. So maybe he told him about me. And then, I think Darren Davies came down and watched me and then they called... Actually, the time when they called me to come have a trial at Victory, pretty sure I did my ankle in that game. That's right. I did my ankle. So I was supposed to go there on the Monday. I had to message them and be like, oh, I can't make it. I've just done my ankle. And they said, oh, good, come in a week or two or whatever. Came and did it.
So
yes, sorry. To answer your question, Ange was there.
Yep.
Muskie was the assistant. And then Darren Davies was the youth coach at the time.
what was your first impression of Ange Postecoglou?
Didn't give me much. I suppose that's probably... I mean, everyone knows it now, especially with where he's at. Everyone has heard the stories about how he is and how he doesn't talk much and that kind of thing. He's pretty quiet, doesn't build much of a relationship with the players, like a personal relationship with the players. And I had that experience, same.
So it wasn't a father figure.
It wasn't... No. And he wasn't... It wasn't that he wasn't nice. It wasn't like he was
Just cold,
rude
maybe.
or something, but just very cold, very professional. Morning, that was it. You know? And
What do you thrive under? Do you thrive under a coach who puts their arm around you and says, hey, today I need you. Let's go. Hey, come on. Because, and I hate to always compare it to the Prem, but it's what I know most about. The Chelsea players call Mourinho daddy. Seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
Mikel and all that, they call him dad.
Yeah. I think for me personally, I think my performance changes quite a bit based off whether I'm happy.
Yeah.
Or negative. Not so much confidence or unconfident, it's whether I'm happy.
Yep.
So I think a very important thing for me is probably a manager that's not necessarily telling me that I'm the best player in the world, but that's keeping me interested in the sessions and also making me allowed to enjoy being there. So the military type stuff, I don't enjoy. The military type coaching, the tyrant type coaching, I don't think I thrive under that. I thrive under a person that's like, yes, I love high standards. You know what I'm like. I love having high standards, but I also, especially with football, like I want to smile when I'm there. I want to smile when I'm there. Like I want to look forward to going there.
Was that happiness in your personal life?
Personal life, like just enjoyment of going there at the club and like, for example, keeping things fresh. Like we had a strength conditioning coach at Western Sydney Wanderers. He was Bayern's strength conditioning coach, obviously through Marcus Babbel and all that. And every day we would do a running drill or a warm up, something different every day.
Nice.
I don't know if I did the same drill twice from him. So it was like every day, it's like, what are we going to do today? And it's going to be something fun and it's going to be intense. Yeah, I love being competitive, but it's like interesting and it's new. Whereas just like, regimented, cold sessions. No,
So
I'm not like
would
that.
you say Ange was quite authoritarian, military-esque?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah. It was very, very, very structured. even the way you were to play was very structured, which obviously is why he's super successful, because I mean, he's smart enough to have a really good plan. But for me as a player, and my enjoyment of playing football was like the creativity side and like showing my personality in the game. And it was very much like, when the ball comes here, these are your options. These are like the 3 options that you have to do that. When the ball's here, you have to move here. Like, it was very, and I don't know if that was just him at Victory, because I don't want to talk about, we also got to put a caveat in that I had him for probably 3 months.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a full version of him, and I didn't get, like, I got one club where, I mean, he wasn't that successful.
Yep.
So, and it was a very specific type of football that he played, and that, I don't know. I don't know if I have a good enough picture to talk on him that much.
So,
but very structured.
So you played under him for 3 months. You don't get the full picture, whatever. Sometimes it might take time for the manager to warm to players and vice versa. So recently, he's been at Tottenham, and their string of results hasn't been the greatest, but he's brought a new style of football to them, which is aggressive forward, play out from the back. And I saw him, we beat them, shout out Ange, on the weekend. And I saw him losing his mind because his players weren't playing the ball forward enough. Was that the mentality and the philosophy at Victory? Was it always play out, play forward?
He was massive on playing forward, yeah.
Massive on playing forward.
Yeah.
Don't knock it sideways too much.
Yeah, massive on playing forward.
Wow.
And I think I feel like, again, I don't want to speculate too much, but I feel like that had maybe an influence on the way Muskie would coach, because Muskie was massive on playing forward as well, as probably most coaches are, right?
Yeah.
But, like, for example, at Victory, that I remember there being a thing of you can't bounce the ball back.
Really?
The ball can't come to you and you can't drop it straight back. You have to play
Not even if
as a
someone's up your
midfielder.
ass.
As a midfielder, well, you shouldn't be putting yourself in a position where you need to do that. Like, it was a real. I remember that quite vividly. Of like, if you bounce the ball back, it was like you'd killed someone.
What else would he say is an absolute no under Ange Postecoglou?
Well, there was stuff at that time that he had. He was doing something with like a front foot touch. He was really big on. He was very, very big on even specific things of how you control the ball. Yep. But again, this is him at Victory. I don't know. He may change, and
of course he's going to evolve.
And yeah. So he may have. I'm assuming maybe there's something to do with like everything, like a puzzle. Everything fits into. So for example, if he changes his macro style of play, that changes the micro actions. So say for example, right now, they're playing in a different way than what Victory play in a macro sense, right? Tottenham is.
Yeah.
So then that would probably mean that maybe a bounce pass is allowed because it's part of the system that he's playing. Okay. Does that make sense? So I don't know, but I would assume that those things change.
I think for the most part, it's the basics are similar, because obviously that job got him recognition and Raw, whatever, and then to go to Asia, and then he was playing a certain way at Celtic, and Spurs have looked at that and thought, we want to play like that. So I think he definitely seems like he's stubborn with his tactics in general.
Well, he's come out and said that blatantly. Yeah. Like he says that.
Well, bro,
he says that.
I don't know if you remember when we played them early in the season and we beat them again. They had 9 men and they were playing. They played an extremely high line on the halfway line. So it was the weird. Chelsea were like weirded out for a bit, because it's like, oh my God.
Oh, that's right.
All we have to do is like time a run and we're going to score.
But they didn't do it, huh?
We didn't do it enough.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
We still won like 4-1 or whatever it was, but we didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
But we were like freaked out a bit. Like, this guy's got 9 men and he's playing on the halfway line.
Yeah.
So he's very stubborn.
Yeah. But it's hard to argue with it, right? Because
it's
been successful with Socceroos, Celtic, Yokohama, and we can go, but that's not English Premier League. But it's like, these are still some of the biggest clubs in the world.
No.
Biggest leagues, best leagues in the world.
He belongs in
national
the Prem.
team.
I think they're being a little bit found out at the moment, especially with the playing out from the back stuff. Their recent string of results hasn't been good, but he's going to stick by what he knows and what he what he wants his team to play like. Did you have any run-ins with him that, like any little stories or whatever that really like personify him in being cold?
Okay. All right. So I remember when it would have been maybe my second week there. They had played Bentley Greens in a friendly.
Yep.
And apparently Bentley Greens had sort of took them to cleaners a little bit. At that time, it was Johnny A and they were playing really good football. Bentley Greens is a massive ground. Apparently, Bentley... I don't know who won. I can't remember, but apparently Bentley gave them a run for their money. And there was a certain player, I won't mention who it is, but we did a meeting on the Monday or the Tuesday, and he probably spent 5 minutes just like going over tape on like things that this player was doing wrong.
In front of the whole team.
Yeah. Like it just kept, I'll rewind it. Look, running backwards. Look, running backwards. Just he was doing something wrong. And I just remember thinking, because at that time I hadn't done that much video before. I'd done a little bit, and you obviously do post-match analysis talks and things like that. But it was one of my first proper nice room theatre, big video, proper analysis with a analysis employee. And I just remember thinking, far out, like if I play poorly, this guy's going to have me up on the big screen and just like a circle around me going, look at this. And I just remember thinking, yeah, like that's pretty intense. But he holds people to high standards. And again, you know how there's that interview with Thierry Henry where he's talking about Pep when he was at Barcelona.
Yeah.
And he was coming inside. He was doing something that wasn't part of the system, and it was working. Like it was his game, so he was playing to his strength, but it wasn't what he wanted for the system.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took him off. And it's like, well, if the manager is very big on his system and his way, well, then if you're not doing it and has high standards for it, if you're not doing it perfect, then he's going to call you out on it. And I think there's videos of him like in meetings yelling and screaming. It's not like he's a scary guy.
It's known, yeah.
He's a scary guy.
So he is an intimidating character.
Mate, yeah. And like I said, he's not rude. It's not like one-on-one he'd be rude to you. He's like morning, but he's a scary guy. Or like he would stand there a lot and be pretty quiet. I remember actually one training session, I think it was Jimmy Jego. Shout out Jimmy Jego.
Yeah, Jimmy.
He did something where he got the ball, turned and like played a long ball, and Ange stopped the session. And the ball got there, mind you. The ball landed at the person's foot. He stopped the session and was like, "You're not allowed to do that. Like, is that part of the system? No, like run it again, do it properly." You know, so yeah, he's very particular, as most successful people are.
I think they are. Look, again, I'm inept. Like, I don't know much. I know the basics. I do like when coaches allow players to express themselves, but obviously now in this ultra robotic version of the game, shout out Pep, that's getting coached out of players, and it obviously works to win games. But, you know, it's not swashbuckling football.
What the fuck is that?
No, what's swashbuckling? Just like chaotic, sort of.
Swashbuckling.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason why I stopped. Like, I wasn't enjoying playing. That's
too
one.
robotic.
It's too robotic. Two, you have to do this. You have to do this. You have to play like this. You have to control the ball like this. You have to move into this position when you get like when that player has the ball. When that player has the ball, you have to move to here.
Yeah, it's too
much.
You want to play off feeling.
Yeah, like that's not why I started playing football.
Did Ange instantly leave to go straight overseas? Is that what happened when you were there? Or did he have a break?
Where did he go?
Yokohama, wasn't it?
Maybe he went to Yokohama from there.
I swear it was.
I can't even remember,
Or maybe
man.
he had a break. Or was it the Socceroos? I can't even remember.
I can't even remember. Nah, like I said, my memory is terrible. But
so did he ever? So it was you. You guys really didn't have any moments where he brought you into his office, had a word with you.
Not me personally. I never had that. So with me, he was good, and maybe it's because it's like, young guy coming from NPL. I'll slowly bring him into it. But I remember him being really encouraging. He started me in the derby for my debut. He started me in a derby. That was the first game of the season.
Were you shitting yourself?
It was like 45,000 at Etihad or something like that. And I was, yeah. And maybe partly, maybe when someone doesn't talk so much and have such a personal relationship with you, then when they say something slightly positive, even if it's a tiny bit,
Take it.
then it's like, this is the best thing in the world. And I remember him saying to me before, when we were doing the meeting, he's like, yeah, Rash, you're going to start in front of everyone. He's like, you'll be right, mate. You'll be fine. And I remember being like, fuck, I'm going to be fine.
I could,
Yeah, you
I
know?
could picture him saying, "You'll be right, mate. You'll be right, mate. You'll be fine, mate. You'll be right."
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was the story I was digging for, something like that. I got it. You'll be right, mate. Just come from North Kirriluckily, you're playing in front of 45,000.
Yeah.
At the Etihad. You'll be right, mate.
Yeah.
But did you witnessed him?
So,
Hairdryer players.
yeah. And sorry, just to go back to the dad thing.
Yeah.
Some people's relationship with their father is not a personal relationship, but it's like if your father has made a decision for how things are going to go and what we're going to do to get out of this issue.
Yeah, true.
And you're like, he knows what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
you
I'm going to
buy
listen to him. That can be a father relationship as well. So he definitely has that feeling of like he knows what he's talking about. Like he's given me confidence.
And you buy into it.
Yeah, I
fully.
buy in. Yeah.
So everyone in that
He's got
change
that
room was
aura.
like, I don't care if he tells me I'm doing it wrong. I trust what he's saying.
Yeah, he's got that aura, yeah. Big time.
All right. The last thing that I want to touch on is Muskie. If you could describe how Kevin Muscat was,
Yeah.
that would be brilliant. Compared, like the difference to Ange, maybe what he was good at. And you know what? You don't have to talk down, but maybe what he wasn't the best at.
Okay. Wasn't the best at. Okay, I'll tell you. I think he's an amazing manager, coach. I think he was awesome. A lot of people, like I've heard some hate about him, but I actually reckon he's amazing.
Yeah,
I reckon
why?
he's really good. I would say tactically a genius, very charismatic, extremely good at talking, which obviously he displayed as a player. He obviously displayed that he understood the game at a deep level. He obviously displayed that he was a leader before he became a coach. So he's a super good leader. I think he was more personable, so he would have a bit more of a personal relationship with you, much more than Ange, which I liked. I liked that. Probably the side that I would say that I would have liked for it to be better. Again, going back to this thing of load. And this is not so much a Muskie issue, but it's a coach. I think a coaching issue in general currently, that we have all these sports scientists and strength conditioning and all this data and all this stuff that I was actively told, no, you can't stay back and do extras. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that.
Really?
I remember at one point, I reckon it was like 7 p.m. at night or 6 p.m. at night, and I'd gone back into Amy Park to do squats, and the strength conditioning coach. So I don't know if you've seen what Amy Park is like in the tunnel and stuff, but there's the gym. As you go down that tunnel, there's a big hallway, and the gym's right here.
Yeah.
And that hallway, you can look into the gym. You can see into the gym. And I'm in there doing squats, and he comes in. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know,
the strength and conditioning coach.
Because everything's about load, and everything's about kilometers, and everything's about meters. So Fahid used to say, "Let's after training, let's play long balls, me and you." And they'd be like, they wouldn't so much say it to him because it's him, but to the younger players, they'd be like, "Nah, don't do that, don't do that." And it's like, I think there's an issue there with focusing too much on winning on the weekend and not on developing the players, not developing the individual players, which I have to take responsibility for myself as well. I should have in those moments gone, I don't care what you're saying, I'm going to train more, or I'm going to do more. I'm going to do this because I know it's going to help me. Well, in those moments, I just went, okay, maybe I didn't have the drive. Like maybe that's just a drive thing. I don't know, but or a fear of like I don't want to do the wrong thing.
I think, bro. Look, again, my opinion on this, I haven't experienced it, but from what I've gathered from top level footballers, they all say the same thing. I was there half an hour early than everybody else, and I stayed an hour later to do extras. And I don't hear many of them, maybe because they're all ex-pros and maybe times have changed, but I don't hear any of them say, oh, no, we were told that we can't do this. Most of them are saying, no, I was there doing finishing practice. No, I took 50 free kicks. No, I was there. I was doing extras. And they were all at the top of their game. We're talking about the Beckhams, the Rios, the Lampards.
No, see, it would have been so different then because like they wouldn't have even been wearing GPSs at that time. So everything is so monitored now that to a T. That's like they know what your weight is. They've seen what your urine's doing. They've seen what your at the top level. We talked about it. Like at Victory, there wasn't food, but they're making sure you're eating exactly this food. They know your injury history. So then they're monitoring the team's load, kilometers for the week, how many games they've played. They're doing squat, those jumps, power jumps, and testing like how much your power has changed. There's so many things that are monitored that if you're going, imagine for a sports scientist who's monitoring everything to a T, and then you go, oh, I just want to do 15 minutes more of volleying the ball to my mate.
You're going to fuck up my recipe.
What?
Yeah.
Do you mean?
White. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So like, it would have been different back in those times for sure. Which I think it's great. Like there's pros and cons, but I think it's sad, because again, going back to the thing of happiness, like I love the moment when football started to become less enjoyable. Jesus Christ.
Yep, you'll get there.
Sorry.
You'll be right, mate.
Less enjoyable for me was when my focus started to be just on game on the weekend winning and away from how good can I get as a player.
Yeah, that's
where
annoying.
can I get to? How good can I get? That was the thing that I loved the most about football was the development side and like where am I going to get to as opposed to just weekend, okay, win, reset.
So that would be the thing about Muskie's tenure that not annoyed you, but that wasn't your favourite part of it was the load management side. He was strict on it.
In hindsight,
he was
I think
stricter
that could
than
have been
anyone else?
better. No, I wouldn't say stricter than anyone else,
So,
but
all the same.
But I just think if you're asking me what could have been done better, is definitely that.
Yep.
I'll tell you another story I remember of like Muskie.
Give us your best Muskie story.
Yeah, okay, all right. I remember I had come on, and this is funny because I think this is where the Lord Mahazi name came from. There was a period where I'd come off the bench. I think the first week was against, I'm going to bowl it, might be Melbourne City. I came on and we were winning. No, we were drawing.
Mm.
Ball comes to me in the middle of the park. I take touch, lose the ball. Then they score. So then the next week we're playing Adelaide and I come on and we were drawing. I come on the same again. I lose the ball. Tarek Arich, far post. He puts it in the top corner. And I don't think we ended up losing that game. I think we actually scored again after that. But it was super embarrassing for me and I felt like absolute shit. And then you drag around the changing rooms and around the club. I'm dragging my feet, feeling real sorry for myself and really upset about my performance. And then Muskie brought me into his office and he goes, you're playing next week. Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Move on. And again, it's kind of that thing of like, if you trust someone's opinion, you respect someone, and then they have that direct approach with you, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like, move on. I need you next week. Like switch back on. It was like, okay, it's finished. And it kind of displayed probably the way that he attacked his career as well, and the fact that he put me back in the team, and that's something that I really liked about him. I made a lot of mistakes while I was playing, but he trusted me and he put me in, and in big moments he'd put me in or he'd play me, even after when I had made a mistake before. And sometimes I thought he could have played me more, but I think in general he was pretty good with with trusting me after I had, failed or made a mistake or something like that. And I think he was good with that.
That would have just ignited a spark in you, like, all right, I got to pick my shit up now.
Yeah.
Because if he's trusting me like that, then I got to repay him almost for the trust.
Yeah.
Do you think you were a bit of one of his favourites? It sounds like, from what you've told me, not that you're a teacher's pet or whatever, because you're definitely not that type of guy, but it sounds like he had a little bit of a soft spot for you.
Maybe. I think we had a good relationship, especially because when I first came in, he was the assistant. And so he was giving me advice.
Yep.
And he was talking to me a lot, especially when I was making the decision because I got offered to go to Melbourne City first.
Yep.
And then Victory came after. And I remember him talking to me and saying, like, what decision I should make. This was before I had made a decision.
Oh,
yeah.
So he convinced you to go to Victory.
He knew that I had been trialling at Melbourne City, and I think we had a good relationship. And maybe because I played DM and he played DM, I don't know. I think we had a pretty good relationship. But he was, for the young boys, I think he had probably decent relationships with most of them.
Yep.
Most of them, I'd say.
So who was more of the Crackett type, him or Ange?
Oh,
I mean, I know
you know what's funny, bro, is based on how Muskie played football, I think people would be surprised with how calm he was as
that's
a coach.
what I am, and you've told me because that Muscat, he just seems like
Muscat.
He just seems like an absolute demon
to
play against, and he's John Cosmina situation, blah 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 blah. For those who don't know, he basically choked the Adelaide coach.
Yeah. Get it up on YouTube.
Get it up. Great game. But yeah, you keep saying that he's relatively calm.
One of the things, I don't know what's happening internally for him.
Yeah.
Like on the sideline, he doesn't look calm.
No.
But if you're listening to this, go back and watch his interviews after we've lost games. He'd be almost smirking and he'd calmly be talking. And I loved that. I hated when my coach would go after the game or before the game. If your coach is emotional and nervous and displaying that to you, that is the worst thing you can possibly have. It's the worst. And I won't say which coach I had that was like that.
Well, people are going to do the math, but yeah.
What? Maybe not. I don't know. I've had a few coaches in my life, but you can't his calmness when he would talk, and I think was very probably strange for people to hear, but very good.
Well, I think that's a great point because when Conte was losing his mind at Spurs, saying the players aren't good enough and this and that and this and that, terrible. Instantly gone. Troy Deeney, he got fired because he was saying he's not good enough. I told him. I get what approach they're trying to make, but I think the king of that was Sir Alex, where internally nothing fucking leaves this change room. Right, but I will back my players.
Yeah, I think that's so important, man.
All right, and by the sounds of it, it really did wonders for that team because they were so successful.
He used to say to us, "Do you out there? I'll take responsibility for everything.
Yep,
but you do what I tell you."
Oh, that would fill me with so much.
Like
confidence.
if for example, I remember Loza. He used to tell Loz to Lawrence Thomas to stay really high, and he would say, "If you get chipped, I'll take it as it's on me. It's my responsibility, but you do it." And then he did get. He's been chipped a few times, but it's also, I mean, pros and cons of doing it. It's probably helped him way more. During Victory's time, it helped us way more than hurt us. Probably those 1 or 2 times that it happened.
So you would say that was your defining moment of Muscat being your coach when he pulled you in after you'd been playing like shit.
I think that was a really hard time for me mentally.
Yeah.
And I think it was a really important conversation. And that comes down to also awareness by the coach. Because I didn't say anything.
Yep.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah. He just had the wherewithal to notice body language, to notice body gestures, and that's what a good coach does. They need to know everything about their players, what's happening at home, and I always bring up Fergie because I hear the most stories about him.
Yeah.
But Steve Bruce was saying the other day that Fergie just goes, I'm around the corner. Can I come by? And, everyone like, okay, his missus was like, oh, all right, let's get the tea out. Let's get ready. Let's get the bickies ready. Even the other day, like Mourinho said to Terry, I'm going to FaceTime you. And he started puffing up the pillows and making his bed all neat.
Really?
And the wife's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's a gaffer.
Yeah.
Like, it's a gaffer.
Sorry, might have to repeat this.
Yeah.
You should read Fergie's book I'm reading at the moment.
Yeah, I will.
And basically, he's like, his only thing, he's like, as soon as there's a bit of dissent from one player
Yep.
towards the manager, have to get rid of them. Doesn't matter who it was, have to get rid of them. Because
Yep.
as soon as they feel they can undermine me,
Yep.
I'll lose all control. And he's like, management and leadership is all about control
Yep.
in a healthy way.
Yep. I don't know if you guys picked that up,
Yeah.
but Nor basically said that, as soon as there was dissent from a player towards him, it was curtains. And we saw that happen plenty of times with him. But even going back to like the Muscat thing, you have to know as much as you can about your players. They might not say anything. They might not even show anything. But even little things, like he was going around, Steve Bruce said, I reckon he came to my house to see how I was living. My house was clean, how my missus was, how my house structure was. Fergie and these managers, they're geniuses.
Well, how's this right? So when I did my coaching badges, one of the things that they said, this stuck out to me. Obviously, we learn a lot of different things, but this was one of the things that stuck out. They were like, if bullying happens, or if there's some kind of bullying going on, or people calling each other names or anything like that, you have to address it, right? And that it's not good enough for you to not notice it. It's your responsibility to notice it.
You should be told. You should see it.
You should see it.
Yeah.
So if you've missed it and your excuse is, I didn't see it, that's not good enough. It's your responsibility to know and to be paying attention and to see those things. So I think it's the same thing, right? It's like, you could be like, I didn't know what was going on at home for them as a head coach, right? I didn't know they were struggling because, well, no, as a head coach, it's your responsibility to know, even if they don't tell you. I don't know how you do it. That's why the job's so hard and that's why they're paid so much money. But like, it's your responsibility to pick up, like you said, on cues, on the little things.
You got to have
notice,
eyes and ears everywhere. Your team
yeah.
almost has to be a bunch of, and I mean this in the best way possible, snitches on, this, that. And I think that's really interesting. So it's not just about what happens on the pitch. This is what they're talking about. Bullying and stuff in coaching courses.
Oh, it's massive, bro. It's massive. You're coaching kids, man. It's a massive part of their development.
Well, you were talking to me the other day about, and I won't say it all here, but like the other day about like how you do things at your academy and just those little things of noticing parents' names, noticing how they are, noticing how, you might notice a kid seems a bit off. You've got to figure out maybe what's going on. Does that have to do with the session? Does it have to do with the parent? Does it have to do with something that's, obviously you're not going to do it to the level of Fergie or whatever, but would you say Muscat was the best out of all your coaches at realising how you're feeling, knowing what you're feeling without you telling him?
Oh, it's a good question. I would say JP was maybe the one that was doing that. I don't know if it was Muskie. Muskie was the one that had the chat with me.
Yeah.
But I think JP, because he was like that at Wanderers as well with me, I think he was really astute with that kind of stuff. Like really paying attention to what's going on with the players' minds and having that relationship with them. I think that comes down to having a team as well, right?
Yeah, of
like
course.
that's maybe a role that you allocate to people.
Yeah.
And definitely when we were at Victory, JP and Korea, they were Muskie was dealing with the team.
Yep.
And they were dealing with the individuals. So I'm just thinking out loud, I wonder if it was actually one of them that told Muskie,
they were doing like
noticed.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know.
Were they really on top of everything? Like they knew where you lived. They knew if you had a missus or not. They knew what you were eating. I mean, obviously they know what you're eating. I'm trying to think of other things. Like, did they know about your mental state, even if you didn't show it? Did you feel like they knew everything that's going on, even if I try to hide it? To some extent.
No, because obviously as an individual you can hide things really well.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm saying, did they try?
But they were pretty good. I would say they were. I couldn't fault them on that. They were good. They were good.
So last thing on it, like when you say dragging your feet and all that, were you just looking a bit disinterested?
I don't know. I think, to be honest, if I'm being really honest with myself, I think it was like, you know, when, for example, if you lose or if you've played badly or you do something really bad as a player, because it's a team sport, you want to show that you're upset. I'm just thinking about it in hindsight now as an adult, looking back as a kid, a child, Rashid, and going, really, it was a bit performative. Like, yeah, I feel bad, but I'm kind of acting like I'm really sad and struggling because I'm trying to show everyone that I care and that I'm sorry. Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense.
I don't know.
So, like, let me reword it, and then maybe you can, if we're on the same page here. You misplace a pass in training, right? And in your mind, you're like, all right, fuck, I've misplaced the pass. But out loud, you might be like, fuck!
Yeah.
Just to show the players, the coaching staff, like, all right, he cares. He wants to get it. And players do it for the fans as well.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that. They do it for the fans, media, right? Because fans will turn on you, but they're easy to win over. Yeah. If you show or at least fake like you're working hard, the football fans that aren't extremely tactically aware will be like, love it, you. Yeah. That's why, look, I think Conor Gallagher's a great player. But a lot of these nerdy Chelsea fans will be like, oh, well, runs around like a headless chicken. You guys think he's a class player. But a lot of the fans will be like, don't care. You can tell that he's really fighting for the club. And whether it's performative or not, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's interesting hearing you say, as a player, sometimes I was a bit performative with how angry I got if I made a mistake or... Like, because you're right. For instance, and this is why Archie was funny, because he wouldn't have done that. For instance, you're playing shit. You give the ball away 3 times, it leads to goals. You think the last thing your teammates want to see is you coming into training going, morning, boys!
Yeah, of course.
Because they'll be like, look at this wanker.
Yeah, of
He's
course.
playing shit, now he's coming in here laughing.
Yeah, it's almost like you owe it to them to repent. Sit in the training rooms and be upset until you do something good again,
and
or
you
something.
felt like
you
you
know?
were putting that on a little bit.
I think so. Yeah. If I'm honest,
Your mindset would have been like, okay, it's happened. I'm just going to go in and train. But you thought that, okay, I need to act like I'm really pissed off about it.
Yeah, and that's not to say, like, I mean,
you are still
pissed off, which is why you're also doing it.
Yes, of course.
Like it is true.
Yes,
but it's also you're sort of just you're showing it a little bit more so they know that you feel that way.
It's not a lie. It's just on steroids a bit.
Yeah. Well, it's like the players that go into, like, everyone's pissed off when you lose, right? But the players that go into the change rooms after and start throwing their boots around and kicking stuff. It's like
Max.
I think an element of that is performative. I think not all players. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think there's a lot of players that do that stuff to be performative for the rest of the team and for
good point.
Which is, again, maybe it's tactical. Like someone told me a story of a coach. I can't remember who told me this, but a coach that would, if they lost or if they were playing badly, would ask for a table to be put into the changing rooms so that then they could, boom, hit the table and get the players to wake up and get a reaction from.
Really?
So that when they were screaming, they would have something to throw or something to like break or hit. So again, you know, if you're a leader, maybe you do that because you feel it, yes, but it's like, oh, maybe this will get a reaction from them, or I don't know.
I've definitely heard of managers when there's like an argument between two players, they'll leave it. They want them to fight in front of the team.
Yeah, right.
And then basically get everything out.
Yeah, right.
And then be mature enough to say what's been said and just fucking move on. A lot of them won't break it up. They'll just be like, let him go.
Have you seen the video of Deion Sanders? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, the NFL. He's in the NFL guy.
So like I'm pretty sure he's Hall of Famer in MLS, not MLS, Major League Baseball and NFL,
okay,
right?
I know who you're talking about.
And now he's coaching some college team or whatever. And there's a video where these two players are about to fight, and people start going to break it up, and he's like, no, let him run it. Let him run it.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Yeah.
You get him. Like that.
I wonder what that does to the player's psyche. Like, oh shit, he's like
Now I actually have to fight.
you know, it's like that. Hold me back. You know, the coach is like, no, punch him. I'm like, oh fuck, I've decided to arc up to freaking Adama Traore. I'm fucked. Like, so that is interesting. Those little that table thing is very interesting.
Yeah.
Muscat definitely is the type to do those little tricks.
Oh, fucking Muscat.
Muscat. Yeah.
He'll do it behind closed doors so no one sees you.
Yep. I could picture Muscat.
He'll get you sent off.
Yep.
Oh my God, I got a story. Okay, listen to this, right?
love it, go.
So we played Perth. Oh, who was the player? It was a hard centre back, one of the hard centre backs, and he knew that that he'd be rough and then it was a final or something like that. It was an important game, and he said to us before the game, he goes, every time he tackles or gives away a foul, go around the ref and be like, ref, make a big deal of it, and we'll get him a yellow card. And within 10 minutes, he had a yellow card and then couldn't tackle anyone.
And it
So that's how he would think. You know, he wouldn't just.
Would he do that often?
Little things like that.
So if, for
little
instance,
like
if
that,
he knew a
for
player
sure.
was fiery, you'd be like, oi, get him rolled up.
Things
We're
like
going to
that,
get him sent off.
He could whistle, and his whistle would sound like the referee's whistle. So if they were counter-attacking, right, and it came through let's say a 50-50, and then they were going to counter-attack, he would whistle. I don't know if you noticed this from the fans. He would whistle, and it would sound like a ref's whistle, and they'd kind of hesitate. People would hesitate.
Was he doing that
and
on
stop.
purpose?
Yeah. And people would like hesitate and stop, and then they were like, oh, that's not the actual whistle, and keep going. Yeah.
Kevin
man.
fucking Muscat.
Genius, bro. Genius.
That is class.
Yeah.
I even heard another story the other day of it was Sir Alex again, saying how and we'll wrap after this, how he said we're going to beat this lot 5-0 all week. He's saying we're going to beat this lot 5-0. We're going to beat this lot 5-0. We're going to beat this, and I think it was Chelsea he was talking about. And Steve Bruce is like, Gaffer, just want to ask you, why do you keep fucking saying we're going to win 5-0?
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll tell you why. No, sorry. The statement was if we score first, we're winning 5-0. That was a statement. And they're like, why? Why do you keep saying that? Like, all right, yeah, whatever. And he goes, because this player, Glenn Hoddle, is past his prime. They're going to bring him on, right? He's got no legs left. They're going to bring him on, and we're going to run right through that midfield, and we'll score. And guess what the end score was? And then little things, and these things come out, and then the players are like, oh my God, my gaffer's a genius.
Yeah.
So with the thing with the Perth Glory centre back, it came out, and you guys are probably thinking, fuck, Muskie told us this was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? Oh, sorry. You go.
No, then there's the opposite of like, you know, Pep does the thing where he fully like G's up the coach on the other team. Oh, they're playing beautiful football.
He does that, huh?
Game. It's going to be such a tough game. Does it every time. And he just goes out and
He did it
He
against...
does that.
He did it, like, even though...
He does it Wolves.
Yeah, I know. He does it all the time. And even Arteta tried it on Poch the other day. He's a brilliant manager. Blah, 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 blah. That's Pep's voice. But Arteta's like, you know, he's a brilliant manager, blah, blah, blah. And they spanked us.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course. And it's almost like, and then people say it's almost like, no, you're saying that because you want him to stay in the league so you can keep beating us.
Right.
Like, but Pep does it all the time. Wow, they're so brilliant, Chelsea. The way they move the ball. We're fucking 12th. What are you talking about? Even though I can't lie, out of all teams this year, Chelsea gave City the most problems. But
Can you do an Arteta impersonation?
no, he's hard.
I do not give these fucking standards.
he's hard. He's got the best
I do
hairline
not
in the
accept
world.
these fucking standards.
Have you watched All or Nothing?
Nah, I haven't. No.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Actually, here's another one. What we used to do. So if we were winning, if it was like 1-0, 2-0, the game's getting on, we would go around and start taking all the balls off the ball boys and keeping them like aside so that they couldn't throw the ball back in quickly, so they couldn't like if the ball went out, it would take ages for them to get a new ball.
Muscat told you to do that.
I can't remember if it was Muscat or Anth, but we definitely used to do it every time.
Can you think of other things? I love that because I want to make a compilation. Can you? This is the dark arts of football right here, and the little games you can play that bend the rules but don't break them. Was there anything else that you guys were instructed to do, or even if you saw other teams do it and you think you little fucking?
I remember when we played City. Okay, Tim Cahill, another one that's a genius. We played them first game maybe of the season, and they spanked us. That was when it was like Luke Bratton, Tim Cahill. They had that guy from Boca, the left footer. Do you remember this? No, they had him as well. They had the other one. Can't remember. He used to take all the free kicks. He was a freak.
It'll come to me. I know who you're talking about.
They had a proper team, and they spanked us. I think it was like 3 or 4-0 first round, and I don't know if you remember watching this game, but Tim Cahill was going around the whole game. He'd start fights. He was pushing people. He was being a mediator between arguments. He would hack someone and then he'd pick them up off the ground. Sorry, mate, hug them. He was just managing the whole game. Just an absolute genius. And Muskie, the next time we played him, was like, I don't want to see anyone. If he tries to pick you up, don't let him fucking pick you up off the ground.
Oh,
you know.
I love
little things like that, man.
I love it.
There's little like, power plays, you know, like.
Yep, that's what a lot of new players are missing. That some have it, but I feel like that generation of especially Australian players, they were good at it.
Yeah, and they're just thinking about how to manipulate the game, and like we do at training, we do these things, scenario games, right?
Yep.
For example, if you're like as young kids. I remember when I first went to River Plate, we watched them, as soon as we landed, we watched their under 14s play the week later. We hadn't started training yet. We just watched them play, and they played Argentinos Juniors, and they started winning 2-0. And it was the 60th minute. As soon as they started winning 2-0, they'd get a foul, they'd go down, my leg. Yep. They'd start a fight, they'd kick the ball away. Their understanding of managing the game and looking at the time, okay, it's this long to go, okay, I'm going to do this at this time. All that stuff was, they just knew it. They just were doing it from such a young age. And I remember someone saying to me, okay, now they're going to start managing the game. They said that. And like we do these scenario games with the kids at our academy, and we'll do, okay, you're 1-0 down and this is and you've got 10 minutes to go and blah blah blah. And for example, the team that's 1-0 up will run to get the ball.
Yeah, of course.
Just because like there's no it's not in the blood of like understanding there's deeper levels to football than just being good at control pass, like understanding how to manage, how to talk to people, how to get in people's heads.
Bro, you know,
stuff off the ball.
You know, as a player. And when I found out stuff like this, the level of detail that people go to, like Pep's ball boy system, the way they used to cut the grass, the shading of the of the blade. So you know how some pitches, I always used to think it was just a cool design, but apparently it was like a mentality thing of like how they wanted to play, or like
right.
You know how it was like thick lines and then thin lines, and then they used to do the circles.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I always thought about why do they do that.
Apparently, it had something to do with visually how it had it. Sorry. Yeah, sort of like visually, like okay, if we're going to play this way, then this is how we cut the pitch. Obviously, we know about the length of grass. Yeah. If a team wants to play it on the floor, whatever, they'll do certain,
like I don't know if they still do this at Amy Park, but I believe it was, I can't remember exactly how it is, but if we were starting down this end, they would wet the grass on this side and not their side.
For home matches.
And then in the second half, they would wet the other side. Yeah, I can't remember how they would do it, but there was like even the way they would wet the ground. I remember, okay, when we would be winning, this is a Fahid one. I'm pretty sure you get a yellow card for doing this now.
Yeah.
Because people are onto it. But he would get, like, if we were winning, he'd go grab the ball like he's going to take a quick throw, and he'd go, come on. And then he'd take ages. And then The rule was that if the ball had to come in and then go out for it to be out.
Yeah.
But if it never came in, then it would be a retake. So he would get the ball and he'd pretend like he's throwing it down the line and he'd just throw it out completely. And then the ref would be like, no, you got to retake the throw. And then they'd take long to get the ball. So you get it? Like, so he's not throwing the ball in at all. He just do stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
heaps of them, man.
Oh,
There's heaps.
I
You
like
go on.
that.
You could go on.
I
and
like that. I'd end up killing someone if they were trying all these things.
Can you imagine how annoying that is? If you're trying to win and someone's on the ground and then you know? Like, okay, yesterday's game. The reason why Muscat gets sent off is because Jimmy runs up to him and pushes him. If that doesn't happen and the fight doesn't happen, they don't look at the VAR. It's not a red card. I reckon. I believe.
Maybe.
But as soon as Jimmy runs up to him, then it's like, okay, now we have to look at it.
Yep.
And once you look at it, now it's very soft, but he kicks out of him. I have to give a red card.
Yep.
You change the whole game is changed because of that one moment, you know?
Didn't work though. Nah, it did because that like victory, like, you know, but I'm fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, there's so many. I'm trying to think of others. Like, I obviously always remember Hazard and the ball boy. That whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
Swansea ball boy.
Yeah.
They've linked up recently.
They've what?
They linked up.
Really?
Like, yeah, they were like, they
Yeah,
did
right.
some stuff together. Yeah, the vodka guy. Yeah. He's got a vodka brand now.
Sorry, might prove this one, but
Yeah.
the best shithouse read in recent years was in the Dutch league. The keeper comes out to clear the ball on like a 2-on-1 kind of attack.
Yeah.
Goes to take the throw in, keeper just throws another ball in, gets a yellow for it, but it's like, fuck.
I've seen that, bro. I've seen that. Yeah.
There's little, but now with VAR, man, less you can do. Imagine what you could do back in the day without VAR.
Definitely.
Well, you were playing without VAR.
Definitely, man.
Like, imagine what you could have done.
Yeah.
But I know, they're telling ball boys, hey, don't rush to get the ball if we're winning.
Yeah.
Like, getting the slightest fucking percentage, if that's even a thing, of an advantage, you try to take it. Ben White even tried to undo Vicario's gloves the other day at a corner. Like, just little things.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's not illegal, but it's like, what are you doing? Like, you annoying cunt.
Yeah.
You know, go have a solarium. So, I think we'll wrap it there.
Yeah, let's hit it.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Rash. I think we finally do have our NPL president episode coming. Hopefully. That's coming soon. But, yep, we're back, guys. Expect the show to go on. Like I said, foot tennis as well. If you're a club, state 2 and above or state 1 and above, reach out to us. We'll get it done. And thanks for the love and support as always. Keep rolling on. Suited and booted. Thank you very much.